Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Like a Boss with me, Lauren. Today we are asking the question, are you okay? Because, this year, 2020, I think it is more important than ever to reach out, connect to each other, listen to each other openly, and ask ourselves, are you okay? Am I okay? Are we okay? September the 10th, so this Thursday, if you're watching the video the day that it comes out, it is tomorrow, so very, very soon. But it is Are You Okay Day. And so this is really a chance to remind ourselves about how we check in on with each other, FUSA and Oasis are hosting a bunch of events around the campus. There will be some stalls. You can get things like cupcakes and succulents. There will also be a panel event with a bunch of experts asking us how we check in with each other, how we ask that question, are you okay? How we listen, and what we do to follow up with each other. And that's actually what I am talking about today as well. And I have contacted some of those same experts. I've got Gareth from Health and Counselling, Tammy from Yungarendi, and Graham from the Flinders Support Network to tell us how we check in with each other, what we do to follow up, and why it's important to be looking after our own and each other's well-being at the moment.
So, how do you know whether someone's in a place where you should ask them if they're okay? If you know the person well, you're probably going to detect it in a change of their behaviour or a change in the way they're talking, the way they're describing how their day is. Maybe they seem down or they seem stressed or they seem anxious. So you're looking for some sort of change in what their kind of normal pattern of behaviour is. And that's if you know them well. If you don't necessarily know them well, there's no real harm in asking someone about their day, the things that they're working on, how they're doing, how things are going. People usually enjoy and appreciate being asked about their work as it is. So I'd go with those two kind of signs or two options.
Wow, this is a really interesting question because it really depends on the person and the circumstances, and sometimes you do want to follow up with people if you find out that, they weren't feeling very well yesterday, so you want to give them a call and just check in on them or send a text. But if I've got someone I know who's struggling, I'm going to follow up on them a little bit more regularly.
Okay, how do you ask someone if they're okay? Most people actually are already doing this already in their lives, so it's about asking someone how their day is. If you know the different things that they're working on, you ask them about how their projects are going, how are your kids, how's the family, what's work like, what good movies have you found recently, or what are you watching at the moment? So it doesn't have to go specifically and immediately into are you okay? You're not looking straight off for any kind of distress or any kind of problems.
When you're checking in with someone, it really depends on the individual because if I'm talking to my brother, that's going to be different to talking to someone I'm working with. And if I'm talking to my sister or my friend, that might be different again. So you've got your own ways of communicating with people. And, I would play to your strengths on that. So if you've got friends who like the text messages, go with the text messages. If you've got someone who will just stop and meet you anytime for coffee, go for that option.
We probably overcomplicate this one. One of the best ways to think about listening is less about what you should do and more about what you shouldn't do. So don't immediately go into advice giving mode, which tends to be the mode I go into straight off. Don't immediately go into describing how you've got the same problem that they've got, or you're struggling with the same thing that you're doing, or bringing up an episode from your own life. And then, if you do kind of basic counselling courses, you learn things like reflecting back what you've heard someone say. So if they tell you about their day and they tell you that it was really stressful, you'd be like, okay, so it was a super stressful day. What was that about? That last bit, which is ask additional questions, inquire and learn more information about what they've just told you. Indicate that you're listening just by eye contact, making sure that you're not doing something else, like you're not looking at your phone or you're not looking off into the distance, that your body's orientated towards them, you're nodding, you're responding to the things they're saying in a way that makes sense with what they're saying.
Listening openly is about allowing the person to express what they're feeling and And just being there for them sometimes. Sometimes people just want to be able to talk to someone, and that social connection is really important. I guess for everyone, we all want to feel socially connected somewhere in a sense of belonging. And for Aboriginal people, there is, for a lot of them, there is that connection to land, language, family and culture. And I think that's really important. And I think it's important that none of us actually feel like we're an island on our own, that we are part of a bigger community. And that's what it's like at Flinders University. And like for our Aboriginal students, for example, they are part of the Yungarendi community. And for all students at Flinders, you are part of the Flinders community. And that's a pretty special group to be involved with.
How do you check in on someone in the age that we're in at the moment? For me, it's a lot of email and chat and text. So I know if I haven't talked to someone in a while, I'm just going to send them a text. Hey, what are you up to? What's interesting? Just ask them a random silly question if it's someone that I know well and I know they'll understand what it is I'm asking. If you get the opportunity, if you're working with people, quick knock on the office door and chat, lunchroom, all those opportunities for interaction, try to take them as much as possible. But yeah, there's nothing particularly different in that process nowadays, other than the fact that a lot more of our check-ins are probably going to be digital in nature. Like I said, SMS or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or any of these apps that people are on. Get on there and talk to them.
Well, this is interesting. As I said, phone calls and text messages are great. Text messages are great for busy people. For Aboriginal people, health and wellbeing is looked at in a very holistic way. So it is about caring for yourself, caring for family, caring for community, and caring for the land as well. And with that comes a whole nother sort of aspect of things around Aboriginal spirituality and what that looks like. So for Aboriginal people, when we talk about wellbeing, we don't talk about one thing in isolation. We look at the whole person and we look at all of those important things that sit around that person to support them on their journey in life. So, those regular phone calls are really important, just to check in on friends and family, making sure that people are okay. And if I feel that they are needing maybe some extra help, I might say to them, is there someone you can go and speak to, like a counsellor? Do you think you need that at the moment? And that's an opportunity for them to just know that they can get some extra professional help if they need it.
My name is Graham Fordham. I'm from the Student Experience Office here at Flinders University, and my role is a Student Support Advisor. The Flinders Support Network has been going since 2018. I've been working with the Flinders Support Network now for just over a year. The Flinders Support Network is that just-in-time phone call there for students, or that just-in-time text message to help them out with some of the decisions that they might need to make, or just to reach out for some support but don't know where to turn. My role there is basically, I can recommend the support services that we've got, know a lot about what the support services do, so then I can make the right recommendation there for the student. Another thing that is very, very helpful at the moment is the new landing page for students. The landing page there has a really great resource for the support services that we've got. So not just student learning support service, not just health counselling, disability. It includes a real big range of support services, which could even include the Flinders University gymnasium and the gym there, should I say. The gym there is perfect for stress relief and also just to take some time out from your study and look after you, because you are the most important part of this puzzle here.
So if you want to know more about kind of some of the stuff I've been talking about, probably the best place is the Student Health and Wellbeing blog. We'll link to it in the information below. You can subscribe to that blog and then you'll get updates from me and the Health and Counselling Disability Service as a whole on the different programs we're running, different events that we're running and things like that.
To get in contact with the Flinders Support Network, you can type Flinders Support Network into the search bar on the Flinders website or on the landing page there for the current student landing page. It'll be great to have a chat to you sometime down the track, even if it's just for some general advice, but I just want to really say well done for all your hard work this year, because it has been a really difficult year. But if there's anything you need, the Flinders Support Network is here for you.
I just wanted to say that just remember, you are a unique individual, you belong here, and you matter. Thanks for listening.
A very big thank you to Gareth, Tammy and Graham for joining me today. And of course, you can catch them on the panel that will be running on Thursday at 12 o'clock, I think. Remember to check out the rest of the events that will be held in the Student Plaza and the Hub. And you know what? If you watch this episode too late and the 10th has already been and gone, it doesn't mean that you can't still check in on somebody. It doesn't mean that you still can't ask that question. Are you okay? I hope you are all okay. If you'd like to share what you've been doing to look after yourselves and to look after each other, please comment in the blog or join us on the discussion forums on Finding Your Way at Flinders. That's all from me for this week. Next time I'll be back with Professor Tracy Wade to talk all about what we do to recover from setbacks. So basically, how do we learn to succeed through failure? So I hope to see you for that episode. Until then, keep well, guys. That's all from me.